Pat, it's a standoff between House leadership and Speaker Nancy Pelosi and moderate Democrats. They were on the Hill overnight trying to come to terms on a procedural vote that would begin moving two pieces of massive legislation forward, but they left with no deal. Coaxing her caucus in a letter, Pelosi insists delays will jeopardize the party's policy goals for President Biden's, quote, transformative vision and historic progress.
The vision is to build back better.
The Rules Committee will come to order.
House lawmakers are briefly back in D.C., the White House endorsing Pelosi's plans for the procedural vote to advance the $3.5 trillion human infrastructure budget blueprint, the first step toward advancing the Browder bill.
When you take this bill together with the American Rescue Plan and the reconciliation bill that's getting underway, we are implementing once-in-a-generation policies that will change people's lives for the better. Housing, clean energy, dealing with the climate crisis.
The procedural vote would then lead to a budget resolution, which would allow Democrats to pass the measure without a Republican vote.
Because this is what the speakers brought us in for, not to deal with Afghanistan, not to deal with inflation, not to deal with the border on fire, not to deal with crime out of control because we're defunding the police, but to deal with unbridled spending in the passage of the Green New Deal and the Socialist Budget Reconciliation Act offered by Bernie Sanders.
But Democrats themselves are facing a test of unity. Fearing the budget blueprint will be scaled back, Pelosi and House progressives want that passed before the $1.2 trillion bipartisan infrastructure bill, which has already passed the Senate. Standing in the Speaker's way are 9 party moderates who are wary of the $3.5 trillion price tag and are threatening to vote against it unless the $1.2 trillion bill is passed first.
But this is a good example that just because you're in the majority and in control doesn't mean that everything is easy.
Nathan Gonzalez with Inside Elections on CBN's Faith Nation.
I think that these moderate Democrats who most of them are some of the most vulnerable Democrats in the House realize that they're going to get attacked for voting for the budget and a lot of the spending that comes along with that. So they want the infrastructure bill that has some things that they can take back to their constituents and say, this is what we got done. This is what we got accomplished.